I just finished the brand new Percy Jackson show. Now let's go ahead and talk about it because honestly, I was pretty disappointed with the show overall. I thought the trailers looked really exciting, and I've always been a fan of the Percy Jackson story. I like the original movies. I read, I think, the first or second book, and I like the story overall, and I was so excited for this series, but man, was I let down. This has got to be like one of the most boring shows I've watched in the last few years. Now, this is, of course, my opinion. It's not going to be the right opinion, so you might have loved the show. By all means, that's awesome, but me personally, I just wasn't feeling it at all. And that really sucks to say because I really like Walter Scobell. Seeing him in the Adam Project, I was introduced to him as an actor, and he's a great child actor, and he had some moments in the show, but for the most part, the script didn't really allow him to really show his acting chops. He was kind of just talking in the same tone throughout the entire show and didn't really have all that much to do, and I wasn't a big fan of the side characters. I just didn't really feel connected to them. There was also almost no action in the show, which blows me away because the movies, Percy can control water and he's got essentially water bending powers. And in this show, I don't think he even uses it once from my knowledge. And if he did use it, it would have only been one or two times because I can't even remember it. The show also felt very, very slow. Like the pacing was just not there, and some of the dialogue just wasn't all that great. Some of the cool characters, like Medusa, for example, she pops up, but then she's barely in the show, and she just disappears after a few minutes, which was kind of a letdown. The show to me just didn't feel exciting at all. Like it was almost hard to watch because it was just boring in my opinion. Like it was just talking amongst the three kids and just nothing really cool was happening. And it blows me away that this is the ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, 97% critic score and 81% audience score, because I feel so disconnected from that. And then, like I said, I actually enjoyed the older movies. I haven't watched them in a long time, but I know I really liked them as a kid. And, I've seen some clips from them floating around online just due to the popularity of the new show. And some of those scenes are so iconic, like the poker face scene at the casino, and then the water fight scenes, and all of those. It was just a cool movie. And I thought, it felt bigger and better than the show did. And my time to shine hello on Twitter basically sums up exactly how I feel about this show. She says here, seriously, what a drag of a show. I actually had to force myself to keep watching it. It's so boring and small and cheap. At least the movies were fun, felt big in scale, and the fantasy elements felt fantastical. And honestly, that's pretty much how I feel about this show. It just felt so much smaller in scale. There was barely any action. The dialogue wasn't great. The story wasn't great. The pacing wasn't great. There wasn't really that much to like about the show, in my opinion. I like Walter Scobell as Percy. I think that casting is fantastic, and I hope they give him a lot more material to work with in Season 2, which we know we will be getting. And then I liked some of the VFX, like the majority of it in the show actually looked pretty good, which kind of bugs me because they don't really use VFX all that much, and I would have liked to see, some cool action scenes here and there, some more monsters, and then, if we can have that same level of VFX for those scenes, it would make the show a little bit more exciting, but they didn't do that. I don't know, guys. That's just how I feel about this show. You might have loved it. You might have hated it. I don't really know how to feel about this show because I feel disconnected to what everyone else is saying. Because for the most part, everyone's saying they enjoyed it. They liked it. It was great. A lot of people are saying it's more faithful to the books. Even the creator is saying this is what the books are meant to be in live action. And I don't get it. Like, I thought the movies were way more enjoyable. I know they're not as accurate to the books, but at least they were exciting. I'm gonna have to give Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 1 a 4 out of 10. It pains me to say that because, like I said, I like this IP. I was really excited for it. I really liked the trailers, but then watching the show, I was like, man, this is brutal to get through. Like, I was just getting so bored, checking my phone. I was like, man, like, come on, what is going on? This should be way more exciting. We're talking about Greek gods, monsters, water powers, Poseidon, Zeus. This should be an awesome show that's super exciting, and it just wasn't. Let me know what you guys thought about the show down below in the comments.